Hi everyone, I'm Jocelyn. Welcome to or back to my channel. Today I am finally starting to set up my 2021 bullet journal. I'm super excited to start some spreads and get into the new year. To start out, I am just starting out on this first page with a key. I always include a key in all of my bullet journals, and this is actually my fourth bullet journal. I am using a Leuchttrum 1917 A5 dot grid journal for the third year in a row. I chose one in a blue denim color. In the past, I have used both a gray and black, but I wanted to add some color to this new year, maybe change some things up, and so I went with blue, which is my favorite actual color. And so with my key, it's the same as it has been probably my entire time bullet journaling. I have a circle for task, I put a line through it if it's canceled, a check if it's completed, and then I have little symbols for birthdays and church related activities. On my 2021 title page, I just used my same 4 colors that I will be using throughout this entire video. As usual, I will be linking all of the supplies that I use in this video down in the description box below. So if you are interested in using some of the same materials that I use, be sure to go check that out. I just used a Micron to give a drop shadow, and then I went in with a Uniball Signo white gel pen to add a little bit of highlight. The quote that I used on this page is, "A fresh start isn't a new place, it's a new mindset," and I think it's a great little saying to go into this new year. Since last year was pretty interesting, I'm hopeful that this new year will be a little bit better, a little bit easier on everyone. So this sticky note that I'm cutting right now, that was the whole is basically what my 2020 setup is based on. It's this kind of terrazzo pattern, and I really liked it, and I liked how minimal it was while also still adding some color. And so I used colors based off of that sticky note and just kind of went in. So this page that I'm doing here is my grid spacing page. If you go on Pinterest or Instagram, you'll see a ton of these, and I have done one every year. It's a really great resource to use in your bullet journal. So what you do is you number down either dot spaces or the individual spaces, depending on how you use your journal. And then you also make little grid space markings for different boxes for your bullet journal. So say you want to divide your page up into 3s, or 4 quarters, thirds, halfway, and so you just make a bunch of lines based off of the types of spread that you typically use. And then I just wrote a little title down at the bottom and added a drop shadow to it and added some washi tape, and then I was done with this page. This next page is my goal setting page for the new year. So I just used the brown to write goal, and then I made a box out of the yellow and used a Micron to write setting in a little cursive font. So for this, I made 4 boxes, and each one will represent a different area of my life that I would like to set goals for. So I have academic, so schooling, social, which will be YouTube and Instagram, personal life, as well as health. To spruce up this page a little bit, I added a drop shadow using this Ecoline brush marker. These are really nice markers, and I highly recommend getting them. And then I used that same terrazzo pattern that I used on my key, and I just added some little detailing to the corners of the page. This is a really simple design and doodle to make. You just basically just make circular looking little squiggles, and you get a really modern looking pattern. This next set of pages are basically my 2021 at a glance. So I did this last year as well. So pretty much I just make a bunch of different sections for all of the months, and in the smaller rectangle shape I write the month that it is, and then I draw a little mini calendar and leave some space on the side so that I can write down important dates for future references. So this is where I include things like birthdays and appointments, meetings, and all sorts of other things that I would have to attend and make note of, especially if I do not already have that month set up in my bullet journal. And it's It's been a lifesaver for me multiple years in a row, keeping up with especially birthdays, because I do not always put things into my phone calendar. So when I set up a new month and I look back on these pages to see if there's anything that I need to include, it's always good to say, oh, this person's birthday is this month, so I need to be sure to send them a happy birthday. And so I always include this page, and I like to say it's simple to make, but drawing out all of these calendars is really time consuming and takes forever. It's very tedious and it's very, very easy to make mistakes. The past 2 years that I've made this page, I have definitely made mistakes and had to use quite a bit of whiteout. But this year I didn't make any mistakes, which is a miracle. But an easier way to do this would be to maybe get calendar stickers, which can save you quite a bit of time as well. But I like the handwritten look sometimes, and I didn't have any calendar stickers, but maybe that'll be something that I have to make in the future. This next spread is my content tracker. So on the left side, I made space for YouTube, and on the right side, I did Instagram. So the top boxes, the really big boxes, is where I'm going to keep track of all of the posts and videos that I upload throughout the year. And then the bottom two spaces are for brainstorming. So new video concepts and Instagram polls and all sorts of different things that I would like to do and include in this new year. I think this will be a really good way for me to kind of plan out what I'm going to do, because to be honest, the whole YouTube thing, it wasn't completely spur of the moment, but it wasn't as planned out as I probably should have been. So I think that having this spread in my bullet journal will help me to stay a little bit more organized, a little bit more on top of things, and also just kind of help me to grow my platform. We have finally made it to the last spread of my 2021 bullet journal setup. This is a spread that I do not see a lot of people doing, but it's something that I did last year and I really loved how it turned out. It is basically a 2021 favorites. So I will keep track of my favorite TV shows, movies, books, albums that come out, plays or musicals that I either listen to or watch, and YouTubers that I watch throughout the year, and as well as my favorite song lyrics and quotes. Looking back on this spread last year, it was a little bit disorganized, so I added the boxes to just kind of keep everything a little bit more structured and give myself enough space for all of the things that I want to include. The biggest portion of it last year was the song lyrics, just some of my favorite songs of the year and the lyrics that I hear that really stick with me. And so this is just a quick flip through of all of the spreads that I made for my 2021 setup. I think that they will really come in handy this year, and I'm super excited to get to use them. Now, moving on, I will be setting up my January bullet journal pages. So my theme for this month was based off of one of my favorite Christmas presents that I got this year, and it is a Crossley record player. I absolutely adore music. Aside from books, music is my favorite escape from reality. And my favorite thing about music has always been lyrics. I'm very much one of those people who I don't necessarily care about how well a person sings. I care more about the lyrics and what they're saying and the story that they're telling. And so for all of the quotes that I made for this setup, I decided to use songs that came out last year in 2020 and just take some quotes that, some lyrics from some of the songs that I really enjoyed some lyrics that kind of resonate to what I want 2021 to be for me. So the type of person that I want to be, kind of what I've learned from this past year. This record player was actually a lot easier to make than I anticipated. I just pulled mine out and kind of looked at it and sketched out what I saw, and then I traced over my sketch with a PN size Pigma Micron, which is pretty much the only one that I've used this entire video. And then I just took a variety of gray and blue tone shades of Tombow brush markers, and I used those to color it in. And so my color scheme for my January setup is very much monotone with blue. Blue is my favorite actual color, which I said earlier. And so with the music theme that I have going on, I felt like blue would be a nice color to kind of combat that. So the quote that you see me writing is from a song called Lonely Eyes, and the quote says, "We might speak different languages and we might have differences, but where you are, I'm right there too." And I thought this quote just kind of really made sense for the type of year that we had last year, with everyone kind of having to come together and band together to get through this pandemic, which we are still in. And this lyric just really stuck with me, and I just really enjoyed it, and I wanted to include it. So next up, I'm making my monthly calendar. Last month in December, I made a 2-page spread calendar, and I really liked having that much space. In the past, I've done 1 page, but this time I wanted to do 2 pages again. I liked having all of the extra space. So I made my boxes, and then in alternating blue and gray, I made dots, which I will later fill in the dates for the days of the week. And then I wrote the days of the week at the top using the same Pigma Micron. The only other markers that I've used are some zebra Mildliners in a gray and blue shade as well. So on the side, I have a box for memories, for things I need to keep track of for next month. And then I also made trackers for my followers on YouTube as well as Instagram. I haven't ever really kept track of it. I don't really look at the numbers as much as I probably should, and so I want to kind of see what my growth looks like over the month on both of these platforms. So the musical influence on this page are these little cassette tapes, which are really simple doodles to make, and then the quote is from a song called Marjorie, and it says, "Never be so kind you forget to be clever, never be so clever you forget to be kind, never be so polite you forget your power, never wield such power you forget to be polite." This next page is another one of my tracker pages. So for my habit trackers, I decided to draw out these little pianos. They're kind of like just little keyboards, and so for each day, if I complete the task, whatever my habit is, I will color in the piano key in a gray color. I know that piano keys are white, but since the page is already white, I decided to go with gray, so it's not completely unlike an actual keyboard. So I have my 6 habits, and then on the bottom I made my same little box that I always make, where I keep track of the TV, movies, as well as books and music that I listen to throughout the month. The quote that I wrote is from a song called Color Vision, and it says, "Woke up in a dream, seeing things that I've never seen, every color so heavenly." That next page is just my a sentence a day, and then the quote at the bottom is from a song called Confetti, and it says, "Ain't blocking my blessings anymore, never be the girl I was before, I'ma let the good things in my life rain down from the sky." This next page is another trackers page, and this is my mood tracker. I haven't done one in a while because I did not keep up with it, but I decided, hey, it's a new year, why not give it a shot again? So for this, I parodied sheet music, and I made a bunch of little musical symbols, and I will have to fill them in with the color that corresponds to the mood that I felt on that particular day. And so on the bottom, I made my little chart. So I have blue for happy, a light gray for neutral, and a darker gray for sad. And then on the left side, I drew another cassette tape. The only difference is that I labeled it mood playlist. On the bottom, I wrote a quote from a song called Do It, and it says, "That's how you do it, keep strutting on your enemies, good vibes only." This next page is my January playlist. I haven't done one of these in a really long time, typically, honestly, just because I did not keep up with it. I know a lot of people fill it in with music before the month begins, but I wanted to fill it in with music that I hear throughout the month. So I just left the boxes empty so that I could make room for that. And then I decided to draw in some headphones on the other page. We are in the last spread of my January setup. So this is my weekly setup, and it's different than I have ever done. I pretty much only did 2 different types of spreads throughout all of last year. So this was definitely something different. I found I kind of took ideas from a few different spreads that I saw on Pinterest and kind of combined them and added my own little twist to them. So I have on the left side, I have the month, January, and then I have a weekly to do, a sleep tracker, a water tracker, and then I have sections for the tasks that I need to do for each day. I also have a little mini calendar on the right side. It's really simple and very minimal, but I think that it will provide me the amount of space that I need for all the things that I write down. And that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my 2020 bullet journal setup as well as my January plan with me. And if so, give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!